When that emotion pools in the body, that's when it starts to cause dis-ease or dysfunction or dissonance in the frequency. So your body's always giving you information. It's just whether you're paying attention to the signals. So something like soul intelligence can actually get to those underlying emotional root causes, even if you're not aware of them, to help shift the energy up and out of the body. And then you can combine that with these incredible nutraceuticals to help the body heal. If you give the body what it needs, it can completely heal itself, and it's an amazing machine.
Welcome to the Holistic Truth Podcast. I'm Jamie Dorley, CEO of Nutritional Frontiers.
And I'm Christine Genovese, creator of the Soul Intelligence Method. We're here to help you break through chronic disease and dysfunction physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically,
With real proven strategies, protocols, and tools you can use in your practice today. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Happy New Year. It's 2026. I can't believe it. Welcome back to the Holistic Truth, your number one podcast for natural healing and wellness. I'm your host, Jamie Dorley, the CEO and co-founder of Nutritional Frontiers, where we're making the world healthy one person at a time. With my lovely co-hosts, welcome back, Christine Genovese. She's our Chief Growth Officer, my partner in crime, and she is the creator of the Soul Intelligence Method. Welcome back and Happy New Year, Christine.
Thank you so much, James. I'm excited to be here today. We've got so much good stuff to talk about.
Oh, I'm so excited, and you look gorgeous today as always. So I'm real excited to get right into this, our Q1 focus of 2026, which is get clean and lean. And we're going to start with a new wellness solution. This is called microbial solutions, or as you would call it, what?
Creepy critters. All those creepy crawly critters we don't need in our bodies that need to go.
Yeah, I call them the foreign invaders, right? So, people may not even realize they want to cleanse and they want to cleanse so quickly. And there's all types of different programs on the market where you'll lose weight quick and these drinks and don't eat. But we really need to have a strategy because it's not like the old days where we can just change our diet and work out for a few months and we're good to go. So when we talk about foreign invaders, we're talking about things like parasites, candida, mycotoxins, all these bacteria that we don't want in our body. They're necessary. However, when they overgrow, then they become a problem. And I've experienced some of these myself, and I know there's a deep down connection, the energetic field of the body, and why these microbes actually are there.
Well, absolutely. When we think about New Year, we're also talking about like new energy and fresh starts. And so it's the perfect time of year for you to detox your gut and really take a look at what's underlying that emotional root cause underlying those things. So when you look at candida,
Uh-oh, candida. I've had candida before, so let's hear it.
well, it's a lot of self-doubt, believe it or not. That's the primary underlying root cause. But you could feel scattered, maybe hazy, frazzled, stressed, trapped, and sometimes the holidays bring that on for us. Maybe frustrated with your partner or blaming your partner or someone close to you. It can also be feeling angry, you're not getting what you want, but you're resistant to change and not ready to take positive action. So you might also have difficulty trusting and confiding in people. So that would be the underlying root cause, the energetic reason that the candida showed up in the first place. But good news for everybody out there. Not only can we work on this mentally and emotionally, we can also work on this in the physical. And Jamie is going to share with us our flagship solution to address candida.
Yeah, we had such an incredible year in 2025. And, what our brand ambassadors and our research team determined is that, with the overgrowth and the abundance of these foreign invaders, we need to have a category of wellness solutions all by itself, because you need a strategy. And our strategy at Nutritional Frontiers, Christine, is number one, we have to starve these bad bugs. They like to feed on sugars. So right after the holidays, people usually have much higher levels of candida, alcohol, fermented sugars, and stress and dairy products. So one of the things we got to do is we got to starve the bugs. We want to kill them with things like Candikill, Parakill, and Microgon. Then we want to remove them from the body and then we want to replace them. So that's our strategy. And our number one flagship formula, so number two formula last year is Candy Kill. And we created this formulation in the world of wellness. This was four different products. Can you believe taking four products instead of one?
Wow. I bet you probably had trouble with compliance, huh?
Compliance, cost, how do I take these? Oh, one makes me not feel great. So, we did is we created Candy Kill. This is a formulation, not a product. And we took
Mm.
four different products and put them together. The really great thing is berberine, which we've seen a lot of research on the last few years, right?
Yeah.
Was originally anti-candida, but then we saw it for blood sugar too, and that's why it works on the candida so well. And the positive side effect is better blood sugar management. So we have the berberine in the Candy Kill. Caprylic acid works really well with berberine together. We add in things like garlic and grapeseed. So this is an all-in-one formula that you don't need to take two and three and four different products. Really simple to take. Have you taken the Candy Kill before?
I have like a while ago. I don't have big time sugar cravings, so I don't think I have candida. I eat a pretty clean diet in general. But around the holidays, I think sometimes we overindulge in the sugar area, right? With all those Christmas cookies and candy and fudge and things that we don't ordinarily eat. So it's probably a really good solution for people to consider.
Yeah, and you're sweet enough. So, me, I've always struggled with blood sugar. The Candy Kill is my secret weapon, not only for blood sugar, but weight, my skin, GI tract, bloating, cravings, you name it. Candico works great. I take 4 caps in the AM, so sometime in the morning, I'll take 4 capsules of the Candikill. Sometimes I'll take an additional dose in the afternoon if I really need to catch up or I'm struggling a little bit more with Candida, but it's an all-in-one formula. It's simple and effective. Most people I recommend to take this 1 to 4 months. After about a month, you're going to be feeling really good on it. You'll see results sooner. And the more you can follow the diet and take this, then you can transition to some of the other formulas. So, Candicare, specific for candida, or some people call it candidiasis.
Yeah, one of the things I remember you mentioning that when you were doing nutritional consults back in the day, that this would be part of an initial protocol that you would use with people, especially when they wanted to lose weight. Why is that?
Oh, that's what I love about you, Christine. You actually listen and you remember what I say, and then you bring it back in such a sweet way. Seriously though, I did consults the first 5 years of Nutritional Frontiers, 3 days a week. And what I found is after a while, people came in and they may not be diagnosed, right? The medical doctors, the allopathic doctors want to diagnose you, put an ICD-9 code on, then they can treat with a medication so they can get paid. But a
Mm.
lot of people are just suffering for being toxic. And what I found is they're loaded with candida. They're bloated. They can't lose weight. They're craving sugars. They're having brain fog. They're anxious at certain times of the day. So at one point, I finally said, you know what? I'm going to follow a protocol that everyone needs to go on the first month. Similar to one of our brand ambassadors, Jacqueline Shedden, right? She
Mhm.
does everybody a GI and detox program. That way she can really see what's going on, right? It's like kind of cleaning a car to see what kind of shape it's in. So I would put everyone on Super Shake their first meal of the day because I want to control what's going into their body and know exactly what's in it. Then I would do Candida Kill with that in the morning to help kill off the Candida, and then I'd give them a probiotic at night. The reason is I want to get them clean in the first month without overwhelming them or overcomplicating them. So it's really simple. You do a shake in the morning, it could be ultimate shake and greens, it could be the super shake. Do a shake for, well, there you go. What
Here we
shake is
go.
that?
This is
That doesn't
actually
look that doesn't look like chocolate peanut butter. What
it
is
is
it?
not. This is,
Oh,
actually cafe mocha with our chocolate praline greens. It's delicious.
are you out of peanut butter?
Mhm.
Oh gosh, the peanut butter fairy must have came and drank it all, huh?
Uh-huh, pretty much. Well, the next major bug that we wanna get rid of, that a lot of people have, are parasites. And
So
parasites, I know, the first time I heard that we actually have parasites
you're
in our
like,
gut, I was
"Ah!"
so grossed out. But, you know, What parasites energetically mean is that you're allowing other people to feed off your energy and life force.
Hmm.
You might feel unclean. You're probably infested with negativity, criticism, frustration, feeling like there's never enough time, energy, love, or support. Often it's yielding to other people's demands and desires instead of your own, and maybe even giving too much without receiving enough recognition or appreciation. Now, I don't know if I have parasites, but I have been told that they get more active on a full moon.
Yes, they do.
And why is that? We know the full moon affects the tides, but how does it affect parasites?
Yeah, it's interesting. The symptoms of candida are going to be a little more bloating, craving sugars, can't lose weight, skin issues, blood sugar imbalances. The parasites, the symptoms are a little different. I think clenching the teeth, right? So grinding the teeth at night,
Mm.
any type of blotching or skin irritations, eczema, psoriasis, blotchy skin, those type of things. In addition, sometimes at night you'll have anal itching. These worms actually get activated in the middle of the night. So when the full moon is out, they're going to activate these critters a little bit more. So people are more prone to getting them and more prone to actually experiencing some of the symptoms that they would get with parasites. The other thing, parasites, think of chronic diarrhea, constipation, or alternating between both. I had
Hmm.
a client come in years ago. He was an engineer. He had a stack of paperwork. He had been tested. He'd been suffering from chronic diarrhea for 3 years.
Oh
And the
my
guy
God.
was in great shape. So right away, one thing I learned from Dr. Weiner was that always think candida, parasites, or thyroid, no matter what the symptoms are. So I said to the guy, parasites, because actually I was tested for them and I was positive, but they didn't do anything. So I put him on the Super Shake, the Parakill, and the Superbiotics, and within a couple weeks, it was amazing the results he got. So
Wow.
parasites can be very active at night or around the full moon. A lot of people will have these, and you really need a very synergistic, comprehensive formula to address them. A lot of people use wormwood by itself, which is fine. We did that before. That's got a long history use against things like roundworms and pinworms and things like that. When you look at, the black walnut, we've always used that. That has some really great anti-parasitic, but also anti-inflammatory. So we combine these things. Of course, garlic is in this and the Candy Kill because it works so well.
Maybe that's why I don't get candida or parasites. I eat
Oh,
so much
garlic you
garlic.
eat, yeah.
It's probably a
Well,
natural, ward off parasites, candida, and vampires all in one.
yeah, and there's been a long history in cultures like the Italian diet or Mediterranean diet of high garlic consumption, and that was one of the reasons, right? Let food be thy medicine and medicine thy food. So Parakill, same way, about 4 caps once or twice a day, 1 to 4 month protocol. Now, if you want a liquid version, this kind of combines both the parasite and the candida. So Candikill and Parakill together, you get Microgon. We put this in a liquid so that anybody can actually utilize it. Really easy to dose. So you have some of the other formulas, ingredients that we use in the other formula, like Pardiaco, black walnut, right? Olive leaf, cat's claw, wormwood. These all work great against not only parasites, but any type of foreign invaders that we're trying to kill off. So Microgon is a liquid, and then you have capsule, Candikill, and Parakill. Now, the one I really love is this is a incredible formulation, right? This is a sleeping giant, remove complete. This is what we call a binder. We're trying to bind and grab onto these foreign invaders and actually remove them. This is like the bouncer at the club in the old days, right?
Yep.
Somebody's acting up. You got to bind to it, neutralize, and remove it. And the best way to do that is with the remove complete. Now, there's some ingredients in here like zeolite that we want to use for years, but zeolite normally has high bacterial levels, but we use a PRT. What is a PRT?
A patented research trademarked ingredient, which basically means the best form of the ingredient you can possibly get.
Yeah, so if it's a purse, it'd be a Gucci. If it's a form of zeolite, it's going to be called G Pure, totally purified zeolite. This is for fantastic in this ingredient. We also use salinol, which is a prebiotic. So what's a prebiotic?
Ooh, isn't that something that has to go in the gut to make the conditions right?
Yeah, it's food for the good bacteria. We're going to talk about a formulation in a little bit that has prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic. Humic and fulvic acid with the mineral blend. These are really cool ingredient blends. So when you're removing, you always got to replace the minerals in there, and that's what we're doing here. So complete formulation. Plus, there's a really interesting ingredient that I know you're very fond of, apple pectin. So let's hear about your experience with apple pectin.
No, that was just it was interesting, but that's something that was recommended to help move stuff out of the body, and one of our practitioners was really interested in that ingredient. Besides the carbon charcoal as well as the bentonite clay, those have all been things to use, and so they're all in here. And, Remove Complete can really help get rid of toxins and heavy metals. And we were talking about like what kind of toxins could be in the body. Someone had said by the time you're in your 40s, you have a credit card's worth of plastic
What?
that
Oh
you've
yeah.
consumed in your brain. I'm like, "What? I have a plastic credit card in my brain." Now, some ladies who
Yeah.
shop are probably like, "Yeah, probably."
Yeah.
But
Good.
but I was like, "How do we get that?" But we get it from everywhere, just in terms of those little bits of microplastic. I think that's why everybody was like, anti-straws for a while. And then as we get older, it's not only a credit card, but you got a plastic spoon in there. So, James, how do those plastics get into our body?
Well, they're part of the environment, right? So, we consume so many foods and drinks in plastic, right? So I'm using the Nutritional Frontiers Yeti stainless steel mug, right? The plastic shaker bottle you have is BPA free, right? So it
Oh,
doesn't
good.
have those chemicals in it like a lot of plastics do. In addition, you look at from the food supply, right?
Mhm.
So people get on not only the plastics, but heavy metals, right? So depending on what you're eating, what you're exposed to, these build up in the body slowly over long periods of time. But in fact, when we looked at the research, the blood of a newborn baby has over 200 carcinogens in it already,
What?
right? Yes, the blood of a newborn baby. Yeah.
Oh,
The-
probably from the mother, right?
Yep. The mother,
Ah,
the grandmother, and the environment. So, look, we're exposed to these things. The body's resilient, but the world we live in now, people need to have a program that they are addressing these year round because if not, they're going to build up the body and then they lead to things like heavy metals, dementia, memory, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, mood, all types of different things that you can experience. Plus, these heavy metals get trapped in some of the tissues and they affect the biochemistry and the metabolism. So, you need to do a cleanse at least once a year. And a great way is to make sure you're addressing the microbial. So, remove complete, Candida kill, power kill. You can utilize any of these formulations together. These are more short term to midterm, 1 to 4 months. You don't need to be on these year round.
yeah, I like to use Remove Complete like once a quarter, right? To just
Mhm.
kind of clean myself out, just in general, just to see like is it binding to stuff and how, am I removing things from the body? So I think it's a nice occasional one to use. And I know some people have actually used it as part of a weight loss protocol as well.
Absolutely. Dr. Bob Bukowski and Dr. Jeff Bland, two of my mentors years ago, they're looking at the fat cell. And they says, well, the solution of pollution is dilution. So the fat cells become inflamed, right? And they're filled with water. You don't necessarily gain fat cells or lose them after about 20 years of age, but they do, swell up and shrink.
Mm,
And, look at, most people after the holidays,
yeah.
they're a little more swollen, a little more inflamed. So the fat cells become inflamed. So when you're looking at this, why would you do a detox for weight loss? Because these fat cells get toxins stored in them. That's why they get full of water. The body's trying to dilute the toxin. So why would you use a cleanse for weight loss? Because you're not going to be able to release the stored fat if you have too much toxicity in the body. So great, like I said, the old days, 4 weeks, you're ready for the beach. Now, 4 months, but you need to do a cleanse.
Mm.
That's why we call it get clean, get lean. It's hard to get lean. In fact, I have one of the top trainers, Paul Neville out of New York. He won the Metrics World's Greatest Trainer years ago, and he was getting great results for his clients, but he's like, I can't get some people over the hump. So I looked at his program. I said, number one, you got to use grass-fed beef, organic eggs, and organic chicken. Second, you need to address the detoxification pathways for your clients. So he put together a new kit, and lo and behold, he says it was amazing, especially for females. He didn't realize how much toxicity they were storing. So that's why we want to do a clean and lean program rather than just a detox. And the other one is IgG. This is a PRT called Immunolin and won Ingredient of the Year a couple of years ago. This is the ultimate binder, neutralizer, and remover. This has over 45 published studies, and they did the studies to show that it actually binds to not only candida, parasites, mycotoxins, C. diff, H. pylori, heavy metals, you name it. It's unbelievable. Lipopolysaccharides. I mean, this is like the stealth bomber to come in and clean you up. I just went back on this recently, and it was amazing. My belt loop goes right down. Bowel movements are clean, easy, and complete. Feel a lot less bloated no matter what. And I love the IgG. I actually use this as my morning drink with GI Complete, Super Creatine, and UT Cleanse. So IgG is the Immunolin. We're the first company in the world, Christine, to do what?
Oh, to bring out a flavored IgG.
Yeah, 2 flavors. So what are they and what's your favorite?
Well, we have this in raspberry and we also have it in lemon lime. And the reason we did that is because it pairs really well with our GI Complete, which is our flagship formula. So I like raspberry if I'm going to do it because I kind of like a chocolate raspberry shake and I love throwing everything together.
Oh, it sounds like a martini, chocolate raspberry.
Yes, a chocolate raspberry martini is what I call it because it sounds way better. And if you're into, so that's if you like the sweet side. If you like lemon lime, you can make a margarita out of our
Huh,
lemon lime using our greens as well.
there we go. We got sweet and tart. So we got them both covered here.
All right. What do we do with liver gallbladder tincture and when would I use this one?
Well, you got to remember that the gallbladder and liver are tied together. The gallbladder is kind of like the holding tank for the liver for all your enzymes and your bile and things like that. And gallbladder surgery is very common. Have you known friends to get their gallbladder removed?
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people get the gallbladder out, right?
Yeah.
And there is a reason, when we talk about that from an energetic perspective, what's going on with the gallbladder. But tell them about the liver gallbladder tincture, and then I'll tell you.
Well, this is great. It combines the liver and the gallbladder. So this is going to give you all the nutrients to clean those up because you hear about non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. You get actually cysts in the liver now. That's because of these trans fats, hydrogenated fats. These fats, if you put them on the chalkboard
Mm-hmm.
and put it right next to plastic, they're one
Oh,
molecule away.
what?
These fat, yes,
Say that
the
again.
the hydrogenated fats you find in a lot of processed foods. If you put their molecular structure up on the board and put plastic right next to it, they almost look the same. So
Wow.
your body can't break these down. Fat has more than twice the energy of carbohydrates and protein. So if
Hmm.
you're getting fats from fish and olive oil, natural nut butters, avocados, those are great fats. Not all fats are made the same. If you're getting it from like Skippy peanut butter and ho-hos and those things, those congest not only liver but also the gallbladder. So some of these people that are getting gallbladder surgery, it's because they have gallstones or a congested gallbladder. In fact, in our professional training guide, with a liver gallbladder flush, I like to use that and then use the tincture because this can help flush out both of them. And milk this. So I think people take it for granted. This has research that it not only protects, but actually can restore liver function.
Mm.
So, key nutrient, but we don't use it just by itself. Burdock root, same thing. Dandelion's great as a natural diuretic to help clean out some of these toxins in there. Cilantro is excellent for the gallbladder. So artichoke, that's why we love to go out to these Italian restaurants to get artichoke hearts. So it all goes back to the food component, right? Let
Yep.
food be thy medicine and medicine thy food. So in these liquid herbal tinctures, we're able to combine different herbs so that you get a more comprehensive, synergistic formulation. And liver gallbladder tincture is excellent. I know it's Dr. Jacqueline, one of her key formulas on her detox program.
Well, let
So
me tell
what
you
is
about
the
the gallbladder.
let's hear the energetic component. I can't wait.
You're gonna love this one, James.
Uh-oh.
Uh, Resentment, number 1. All right? Possible contributing factors to why you're having gallbladder issues.
Mm.
Number 1 is resentment. The next one is grief about men or our masculine self or achieving in the world. It could also be about feeling irritated or depressed, indecisive, confused, angry, wounded, maybe thinking of yourself as a failure, sabotaging additional opportunities for success, maybe feeling second best, neglected, unimportant, holding on to trauma and pain from the past that creates struggles, hardship, and lack.
Oh,
So
I better get my
remember,
gallbladder checked.
so remember, you know, from an energetic perspective, there's always an underlying emotional root cause. And the reason that is because emotion is supposed to be energy in motion. When that emotion pools in the body, that's when it starts to cause dis-ease or dysfunction or dissonance in the frequency. So your body's always giving you information. It's just whether you're paying attention to the signals. So something like soul intelligence can actually get to those underlying emotional root causes, even if you're not aware of them, to help shift the energy up and out of the body. And then you can combine that with these incredible nutraceuticals to help the body heal. If you give the body what it needs, it can completely heal itself, and it's an amazing machine.
You read my mind. So do you have any opportunities this year for people to jump on the Soul Intelligence program? Because it's been a tremendous help for me personally. And some of the testimonials, I mean, it's been unbelievable last year. The people that you helped that were really in bad shape for a long period of time. So I love the program. How do people get involved?
Absolutely. If anybody's interested in learning about the method, one of my passions are to teach it. I want to see this in wellness centers throughout the country. And you can become a neuroenergetic health practitioner with my program, Soul Intelligence. And it's basically soul intelligence means listening to that inner knowing, pay attention, right? So that we can shift those things up and out. But if anybody is interested in sessions, they can work with me or any of my certified practitioners by going to soul, SOUL, intelligencemethod.com. And you can check out all my programs and offerings. I'm each been doing something really new this year called SQ for you. You got IQ,
Oh,
EQ, soul intelligence is SQ. And that's really
mm.
doing it just for personal use and learning how to just use a small amount of the charts to shift things for yourself.
Well, I'm glad I've been on here today. I just learned something new. SQ for you. I love it.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I know, pretty exciting. And so
Yeah.
those are kind of weekend workshops where I spend about 8 hours with you so that you can get used to using
Mm.
the charts. And I also have a monthly group session that I do that's usually theme based. So obviously it's New Year's. We're going to talk detox, right? And we're going to clear out all this stuff we've been talking about. And one other way you can get stuff out of your body is with fiber,
You know
frontier
what?
fiber.
There was an old book by I hate to say old, but Brenda Watson. She was a national nutritionist,
Hmm.
super sweet woman, and her book is called Fiber 35. And
Hmm.
she says, I guarantee if you eat 35 grams of fiber per day, you will pretty much reduce and eliminate your risk of all chronic conditions. Now,
What?
yeah, because people don't eat fiber. Think about the average American, standard American diet. They're eating all this processed junk. There's no fiber in
Oh.
fast food. There's no fiber in junk food. There's no fiber in processed junk. So people are missing out. So the reason we came out with Frontier Fiber is that I wanted a easy to use fiber for anybody. So the nice thing about this, you can put it in any hot or cold food or beverage. It's tasteless, odorless, and gritless. You could put it in coffee. You could put it in your shake. We actually have it in our super shakes, ultimate shakes. All of our different shakes have the fiber salt, which is a patented research, trademark version of fiber. It digests really easy. It's not a big bulking fiber, and it will actually help with bowel regularity, toxins in the gut. It'll help with any bloating. And it's really simple and easy, Christine. All you need to do is 1 to 2 scoops per day. You can do it anything.
So when would you use Frontier Fiber over something like a Remove Complete?
I look at Frontier Fiber as food, as a dairy fiber supplement. So if you're not getting enough fiber in your diet every day, or most people don't, it's a nice way to fortify your shakes or any of your drinks you're having or food. I look at Remove Complete as more of a sniper. I'm going to bring that in like you do, once a
Mm.
quarter. I love it. One bottle once a quarter, just as a little extra protection against all the things we're exposed to. I know we travel a lot. We eat a lot at restaurants, eat a lot of fish. So even if you're eating healthy, you may be exposed to some things that you don't want to be. So the Remove Complete is more of a short-term formula. Frontier Fiber is a long-term. Get on that. You can stay on it. It's great for kids, adults, seniors. Tasteless, odorless, gritless, any hot or cold food or beverage.
Well, that's awesome. Well, one of the things I want to let people know too is if you are excited about any of the formulas we were talking about today, we do have a selection of our microbial solutions on sale in the first quarter of the year because we want to help people get started, right? Removing what they don't need. So you can visit nutritionalfrontiers.com to see everything that's on sale. In addition, if you enjoyed what you heard during this episode and you can think of someone who needs to hear this information, we would really appreciate it if you would like, comment, and share this episode.
Yeah, and I think this year in 2026, I really encourage people, including us, right, is to have a strategy for your health, right? Don't be in such a quick, I got to lose weight focus. Go more about health. And the best way to do that is by taking a month and doing the microbial solutions. We've created these 12 wellness solutions in 2026. They've been updated, they're innovative, they're exciting, they're fun, and they're very therapeutic. They work really well. It's like a neighborhood, right? If you have too many bad neighbors, the neighborhood's going to go south, right? So just like that, your body is a microbiome, right? It has an incredible ecosystem going on in your gut. And we need some of these bugs. We need the parasites. We need the candida. However, when they start to overgrow, it needs to be addressed. So we want to starve them. We want to kill them. We want to remove them. And we're going to replace them. So the first step this year in 2026 is to get on the microbial solutions and check out Soul Intelligence, because I know that's going to help you remove some of these things that have really been trapped in the body. And when the emotions are trapped, sometimes regardless of what you do, it's not enough. So the old days of working out for 4 weeks to 4 months and eating good, those aren't enough anymore, not in the world we live in today. So you need mind, body, and soul, and that's the solutions we have at Nutritional Frontier. So thanks so much, Christine. This was incredible today. I learned so much about parasites and candidiasis and gallbladder function. So I really appreciate your help.
Awesome. All right. Well, until next time.
Thanks, everybody. Let's have a great Q1. Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing everyone at our next event, and God bless. Thanks for tuning in to the Holistic Truth Podcast.
If this episode spoke to you, please follow the show and share it with someone ready to take charge of their well-being. And if you can, leave us a review. It helps others find our podcast.
For more tools and practitioner support, visit nutritionalfrontiers.com.